Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers squared off. On the first drive, the Steelers would go 3 and out. A big play was getting a sack recorded by Mike Dana. Russell Wilson should have got the ball out of his hands. A 4th and run up the middle by Kareem Hunt for 4. On the second play for a touchdown, Xavier Worthy continues to get better. The Chiefs have had a tough time with celebrations as they got 3 taunting penalties. Xavier Worthy got taunting, and the Chiefs would miss a 48-yard extra point because of the penalty. Pumped by the Steelers, another third down conversion to Samaje Perine, who's been a big underrated player for the season. That was a play of over. Next possession, on the biggest play of the season for the Chiefs, Justin Watson, who's not relied on very much, got the biggest play of the day for 42. That was good. The Chiefs were up 13-0. Next possession, the Steelers would get the ball, and a huge play to George Perkins, who would score a touchdown, 41 yards, a huge play. A touchdown, but a holding call on the Steelers. Russell Wilson would then later on that drive throw an INT. On the third drive, the Chiefs punted for the first time. The Steelers would respond with a touchdown the Chiefs had a chance to maybe get on the board, but on a 4th and 1, they forced back a penalty of 10 yards. And the Steelers were unable to score. At the half, it was 13-7. Broadcasters mentioned that the Steelers could have the lead, but that's a stretch. I mean, they didn't have the lead, so that's always a stretch to say. At the score, though, was 13-7. A field goal by both sides, the Pittsburgh and Kansas City, made it a 6-point game. A touchdown by the Chiefs scored at 22-10. A fumble in the fourth quarter, which all of a sudden came out of hand at 22-9-10. That was a Kelsey ball that led to a touchdown. He now becomes the leader in touchdown Kansas City history, which was dunked to honor Tony Gonzalez, one of the best tight ends of all time, right there with Travis Kelsey. The Steelers decided to punt down 19 with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. That doesn't really make much sense to me. That man, to the players and to the coaching staff, they were giving up. And when it was 29-10, Andy Reid decided to be a good sport and ran the clock out, seemingly with a 3rd and 10, and opted to run it for what was for 90 yards, but seeming like he was a good sport, and then punted. Final was 29-10. The Chiefs are the number 1 seed, which may not be a big deal to assume, but it's a big deal for this team. They've played the most games in the last 2 years and haven't had a bye since week 10. Let's listen in to the celebration for Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey and Andy Reid as they become the number 1 seed.
Proud of you. For the present, you get home field advantage, my man.
Yes, sir!
Did not play, and Isaiah Pacheco got banged up a little bit. The defense played so well without Chris Jones. Isaiah Pacheco should be good for the playoffs, I imagine, but who knows? The starters won't play this week, I imagine, and you definitely won't see any action for Chris Jones and Isaiah Pacheco, even if the Chiefs do play their starters for a quarter or whatever. I wouldn't bet on it. They play the Broncos this week. Now let's go on to the Texans and Ravens game. This game spread more even Chiefs and Steelers. The Ravens ran away with it. touchdown to start the game with a 25-yard run by Lamar Jackson, and then a Derrick Henry, who was big to kick it off. He was the thing that the Ravens bring that they didn't have last year to the playoffs. A good, solid running back. A field goal by the Ravens. The Texans were dead after after 3 punts. The Texans got a good punt from a former punter, Chiefs punter, Tommy Townsend. Sent it down to the 3. The Texans would get a safety out of that and get a good return. But they would go for it from the 4 and not get it, and that knocked all the momentum out. And Ravens scored big, a 20-2 run, ending the game at 30-2. Texans got routed 30-2. The Bears will play the Seahawks. We'll go ahead and preview that game since it's a standalone game. Let's look at the Bears. Caleb Williams, you would like them to see some improvement, as the Bears have lost 9 games in a row, and you haven't seen that improvement yet from the first-year quarterback and Caleb Williams. Running back DeAndre Swift and DJ Moore. And defense for the Bears, Montez Sweat and Jalen Johnson are players to watch out for. Geno Smith is a player to watch out for the Seahawks, good or bad. He's thrown a lot of interceptions this year. Last year he was the most comeback player of the year. Kenneth Walker is out, running back. Zach Carbonet will be the running back. And wide receiver Nathan Jackson, Smith, and Jagbu. Williams leads the defense in sacks. The Seahawks are middle of the pack in defense and have had a frustrating year in which the Seahawks defense was supposed to be better. Let's do Coach's coaching job. Another one. Pete Carroll is a hot topic right now. I don't know if he's young enough and will be long enough to stay with Caleb Williams to develop him, which would be maybe 6 years. So my question is he going to develop Caleb Williams, or the truth is he's too old? Bills Lions offense coordinator Ben Johnson has been in the running for a lot of other jobs. My brother-in-law Patrick Brown likes him as the Bears' next head coach. Joe Brady, offensive coordinator, he's done a good job with Josh Allen. Brian Flores, Vikings defensive coordinator, he did not get a fair shot with the Dolphins, really. He did go 2 seasons over 500, but never made the playoffs. Aaron Glenn, Lions defensive coordinator. Bob Slowski, Houston Texans offensive coordinator. He hasn't developed C.J. Stroud much at all. Liam Cornell, Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator. What does he have to say for himself? He's Baker Mayfield's offensive coach and no real success in Kentucky. I mean, he didn't really develop a quarterback there. The Titans quarterback, Will Levis, but I'm not sure about him. Liam Cohn, not impressed with him. Probably the best defensive candidate, Zach Robinson, Atlanta offensive coordinator. Not really impressed with him either. Gordon, again, he doesn't really have a quarterback for me to be impressed with. Info on sports, again, Bears and Seahawks kick off at 8:15, 7:15 Central.